Troubleshooting the Cougar Duplication Glitch if your horse does not despawn is specifically what I'm going to go over in this video. Welcome and thanks for watching. So I want to give some shout outs first to who I think is the founder of this glitch, X5150XI, and also Jay Stone. I ended up watching the glitch on Jay Stone's channel and then looking through the comments. I ended up noticing 5150 apparently posted this before Jay Stone posted it. So big shout out to both those guys. I really don't know who the founder is. I don't know if they both got the information from a website like Seven Sins, and then it was just a race to go ahead and post it. So big shout out to both of those guys. I will also post some links in the description of this video to both of their channels so you can see the tutorial on exactly how to do this glitch and also how to do the passive mode glitch, which is something that you will need to do from what I've been seeing, although some people are saying you don't. But to make things easier, you will need to do the passive mode glitch, so that's why I'm going to leave links to their channel so you can go ahead and check out tutorials on how to do that. I have been noticing in the comment section on a lot of videos that people are specifically having a problem with their horse not despawning. So I'll go ahead and give you a brief rundown. Like I said, check out Jay Stone and 5150's channels if you want to know exactly how to do the glitch. But you would go ahead and get a carcass, do not skin it, put it on your horse, bring it to a butcher, park it in front, and then you can either go to the wardrobe at the store and chill in there for about 5 seconds, or you can change an outfit and then back out, or you can go into the catalog in the store, hang in there for about 5 seconds and back out. You should have your horse despawn. But a lot of people are having a problem where their horse is not despawning. And if it despawns, what should happen is your carcass should be laying right there on the floor, in front of the butcher, and then you would pick it up, and then you would go to the butcher, don't interact with him. You would call your horse over, and once you could see him on your compass, then you would interact with the butcher, and then it would not give you an option to sell the cougar. It won't even appear there. You would back out, and then the horse should actually disappear again and leave another carcass on the ground. And then you could keep going ahead and repeating that process with the carcass that you have on your shoulder. Call your horse. Once it comes into the compass, you would interact with the butcher, wait a couple seconds, back out. The horse would disappear, and you would get another carcass, and you can keep doing that up until about 20 carcasses appear on the ground, or you could sell after 10. It's basically up to you. I will talk a little bit further, pretty briefly on how to do the passive mode glitch, but I want to go ahead and get into this video. So you saw there, I tried to do what you're supposed to do to get your horse to disappear. It did not. So I'm back in the wardrobe. I'm like changing an outfit, staying in here for a couple more seconds to see if that will help. And you see it does not help. I still have my horse appearing on the on my compass right here. And that is not going to work if you're trying to do this glitch. So, excuse me. After doing a couple of different troubleshooting methods, I ended up finding something that worked for me, and I stayed in a session for, I would say, a few hours, and it did come up a couple of times where I had this problem. So after troubleshooting, I found probably the best way I would say that worked for me, not necessarily something that is going to work for you, but I would say try this method here that I'm going to go ahead and explain and show you in detail 2 different times in this video, and I'm also going to talk about some other things that I've tried that did not necessarily help me. So first thing you want to make sure is if your horse is not despawning, you want to make sure you do not have a bounty. If you have a bounty, the horse will not despawn no matter what you do. All right, now some people are saying if you go into your wardrobe and the horse does not despawn, you can go into the general store and go into the catalog, wait in there for a little bit, and when you come out, that should take care of it. But you can see for me, that did not fix the problem until I started doing some other things. Now, I've only tested this at Blackwater and Strawberry successfully. I've done it at Tumbleweed, and no matter what I did, I could not get the horse to despawn at Tumbleweed. It may work at Rhodes, it may work over at St. Denis or some of the other butchers. I can't confirm that. I just specifically have been using Strawberry because I know the cougar does spawn in the same location north of Lake Owengila, right by that little V in the top of the stream, just to the left of those trees over there. So here I am trying to test out this other method. Went into the wardrobe, didn't work. I went into the store, into the catalog, and you're going to see I'm going to back out, and it does not work. Some people have also mentioned trying to fast travel. I would just advise you, if you are going to fast travel, if you fast travel with your horse, you will notice that when you get to your destination, the pelt quality will drop. So what I've noticed from testing is you can go ahead and either get to your horse and send him away, or you can do the steps that I'm going to do in this process to get your horse away. Then you can fast travel, and then once you get to the new location at the butcher, you can call your horse again, and that will not decrease the quality of your pelt. So just keep that in mind. If you travel with the horse, it is going to decrease the value of the pelt. I can't say every time because I've only had a couple times where I tested it, but just as a rule of thumb, do not fast travel with your horse if you're trying to do this method. Your pelt will decrease. So what I figured, because I sent my horse away and came back and tried to go to the butcher, into the wardrobe, and it still didn't work. So I figured, okay, why don't I just go ahead and run far enough away from my horse so that my horse will disappear, and then I'll go back to the horse. Well, I'll go back to the area. I'll call my horse again, and I'll repeat the process. And you're going to see, at least in my case, that this has worked for me. Some people have also said you could just jump on your horse, take off out of the area, go like 30 seconds or a minute away from the butcher and then come back, and that may fix the problem. I tried it. It did not work, so I kept doing different methods to try to see what I could do to fix this problem. I've also went into my, game options to respawn by killing myself by just tapping left on the control pad and going to respawn. And then when you appear, obviously you will have the carcass still on your animal your horse when you call it, but it did not fix the problem for me. So in my case, this is the only thing that worked. What I did is I went far enough away where you could see that my horse ends up disappearing off my compass. You can bring up your map to go ahead and confirm. And then I'm just simply going to run back to the butcher or to the area. I'm going to call my horse again. I'll park it in front of the butcher. And then I like to use the wardrobe method versus going into the store for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel it works better for me. But both of them pretty much work from what I'm reading. And then once you do that, either change your outfit or just wait in there for maybe 5 seconds, and then you back out, and hopefully if everything works out well, you should come out, your horse should disappear, and you should have your carcass sitting right in front of the butcher. Now, some other people have also put in some tips that you can put some other animals on the side of your saddle, and they should also drop to the ground once your horse disappears. Only times that I tried that, ironically, were the times that I was having these problems where the horse wouldn't disappear. So I basically gave up on that, and I figured, let me just go ahead and keep troubleshooting with just one carcass on the back of the horse. Because if you do have a 3-star cougar, you could be making $13.50. And if you keep repeating the process at the butcher, like I said, with an animal on your shoulder, call your horse once he gets in the compass, interact with the butcher, wait a couple seconds, back out. Your horse disappears, the carcass will drop, and then you can keep repeating that process up until roughly, I would say, maybe 15 or 20 carcasses are on the ground, or you could do it after 10. Whatever you prefer is up to you. Just try not to do too many of them, at least not past like 15 or 20, because it will glitch things out. You will notice too, and I've noticed myself, that in a clip coming later on, there's a bear that appears. There's no icon on the map for it. Another rule of thumb here is if you start to see the NPC wagons acting crazy in the streets, like they're just blocked, they're not going, almost as if there was somebody blocking them, you might be at the end of your possibilities in this session to go ahead and do it. So I would advise you to go ahead and do everything that either you do to make it work, or if you're having problems, try the methods that I've mentioned. But if you start having some things happen, like I said, specifically the NPC wagons not moving, as if somebody was blocking them and you know that nobody's blocking them, that might be a good sign that you might need to go ahead and just close the game and then restart the whole process. Toward the end, I ended up having some issues when I was trying to go to cougar spawn locations, and my damn camp kept appearing in the locations where the cougars would spawn. And my camp is set up in Tumbleweed, in the southern part. So I found it very odd that when I kept going to 3 different types of cougar locations, whenever I got there, there would always be my camp right there, as if I switched the camp. I didn't get any notification saying Cribs has moved your camp or anything like that. So I got a little leery of that, and that's when I thought, you know what, maybe I'm pushing my luck. Maybe it's time for me to get out of here, and I haven't done it again. And I specifically only did this a few times. It was more about trying to troubleshoot it because those guys have already covered it. There's been plenty of people who have come out with videos on how to do this. So I figured I would try to help as much as I could by trying to troubleshoot the biggest problem that people are having, and that is specifically getting your horse to despawn. Now, same problem here. I specifically, in that last clip, I sold a cougar. I was hoping that the horse wouldn't despawn so I could have another clip. I did have another clip that was like another 5 minutes of me doing the same exact process, but I didn't feel like dragging this clip out any longer than it needed to be. And some people are going to say, oh, 11-minute clip or a 12-minute clip, you're stretching it. No, I'm not, because this is kind of important. Who knows when this is going to be patched? And people are having issues with this. So if I could help you out, by all means, I'm going to. If you don't like the fact that it's 11 or 12-minute video, then you probably should have never clicked on the video to begin with. I do feel like the information in this video will help people out, so just take that into consideration. Now, this is going to be the last clip here, and I'm going to kind of cut a little bit because there's no point. I end up seeing a bear, and you can see what I'm saying. He just appears on the screen out of nowhere, and then I kill him, and then I cut the part, me bringing him to the butcher. But you can see when I'm at the butcher, I still have about the same amount of money that I should have, and I'm actually selling the parts from this bear. Now, really quickly, if you want to know how to do the passive mode glitch, you are going to need a friend online. And what you're going to go ahead and do is first, you want to go into your network settings and if you're on PlayStation, I think you can go right to the screen where you can disable your internet. Xbox, you can kind of get almost there, but when you go back, you will have to hit the Xbox button, scroll all the way over to the right to settings, then hit network, and then you're going to want to make sure that you disconnect. So what you need to do is find a friend that's online. You're going to go ahead and join his game. It'll say processing request or whatever. Once the screen goes to black and white, like right before you would switch to their lobby, that's when you need to either on PlayStation go into your network settings and disconnect your internet and then connect it back. And for Xbox, you would have to hit the Xbox button, scroll all the way over to the right to settings, then network settings, and hopefully everything's set for you. And then you would go ahead and disconnect from the internet and connect right back. And what'll happen is you'll end up getting an alert screen. You'll go back to the Red Dead Redemption home screen. You hit respawn, and then you will have either, if you already got the cougar or whatever animal on your horse, you will respawn with those animals back on your horse, or if you didn't do that step, you will just respawn in a session. And if you want to confirm that you're in passive mode, you just look at any of the icons, whether it's a blue dot that's somewhere in your area or one of the red dots kind of out in the distance. As long as they are transparent, meaning they are not a solid color, then you know you're all set. So again, huge shout out to 5150 and Jay Stone. I would love to know in the comments if you guys had this problem, if this method by running away and coming back ends up clearing it for you. Again, try to take advantage of this, but be careful. Some people may go ahead and report you. Some people are petty like that, but again, leave some comments. I'd really be interested to know if this helped you guys out. I do have another upload coming up later for Buyer Beware, which should be pretty interesting on the special saddles. So as always, I appreciate the support, appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.